Nathan Reid. 33 is a graphic designer from Vancouver now living in Sydney. On weekdays he works with pixels and palettes. On weekends he's chasing waves, hiking cliffs or camping under the stars. A former college rugby player, Nathan's got the build to match his lifestyle, strong, steady and always on the move. Nature isn't just a hobby for him, it's where he feels most alive. Now he's trading city life for 6 months of raw, open coast. With his longtime girlfriend, Emily, and their dog, Jasper, he's packed up a camper van and pointed it toward the remote beaches of Western Australia. No deadlines, no meetings, just the ocean, the wind and the road. It's not just a vacation, it's a reset, a chance to breathe deeper, live slower, and see the wild side of the country they've called home for years. This journey isn't about luxury, it's about freedom. And for Nathan, it's the perfect blend of simplicity and adventure, just him, Emily, Jasper, and miles of untouched shoreline waiting to be discovered. By week 6 of their road trip, Nathan, Emily and Jasper rolled into Clearwater Bay, a place that felt almost unreal. The water was a sharp turquoise, clear enough to see the reef flickering below the surface. It was exactly the kind of place they'd been chasing, wild, beautiful and buzzing with life. Emily had read about the bay's coral gardens and couldn't wait to dive in. Nathan, drawn by the promise of clean, powerful waves, had marked it on their map weeks earlier. They pulled into a beachside campsite where the air smelled like salt and sunscreen, and the buzz of wetsuits zipping up was everywhere. This wasn't just a quiet patch of sand. It was a hub for ocean lovers, surfers, waxing boards, divers checking gear, laughter coming from every direction. Before they'd even finished setting up their tent, a group of young travelers from Germany and New Zealand invited them to join an impromptu surf and dive session. No need to think twice. Nathan grabbed his board, Emily packed her snorkel. Jasper barked excitedly as they followed the group down to the water. What started as just another stop along the coast quickly turned into something more, a shared adventure, the kind that sticks. Clearwater Bay wasn't just a postcard perfect beach. It was alive, open, and full of the kind of energy that makes strangers feel like old friends. The morning of April 21st, 2025 began like a dream. The sun was out, the sky cloudless, and the ocean calm as glass. By 7 a.m., Nathan, Emily, Jasper, and a group of 8 friends were already on the sandboards in hand and spirits high. Jasper, full of energy, dashed from towel to towel, earning treats and belly rubs from amused tourists along the way. It felt like one of those perfect days until it wasn't. At 11:20 a.m., a marine wildlife observation team spotted something massive moving beneath the surface about 3 kilometers offshore, a great white shark larger than any they'd seen in months. They immediately radioed the beach patrol, but the response team was still minutes away. At that very moment, a tourist nearby launched a drone hoping to capture a panoramic video of the bay. The drone buzzed quietly above the beach, its camera scanning the shoreline and the shallows beyond, unaware of what it would soon record. Back on the beach, no one had any idea. The group left waxed boards and watched Emily adjust her snorkel mask. Nathan was stretching eyes on the horizon, already sizing up the next set of waves. The water looked inviting, safe, but danger, silent and unseen, was already closing in from the deep. At around 11:45 a.m., Nathan and 2 other men waded into chest-deep water, boards at their sides. The waves were steady, rolling in clean lines. As they floated and chatted about the swell direction, no one noticed the danger lurking just meters away. Unseen beneath the surface, the great white had crept closer to shore, silent and patient. It had been circling, waiting, and now it was within striking distance. Nathan drifted slightly ahead of the others, letting the water rise over his shoulders. Just as he turned toward the beach, he lifted a hand, waving at the drone hovering above, still filming. In that same frame, a massive dark shape surged upward. On the sand, Jasper had been staring at the drone, ears alert. Suddenly he let out a long, eerie howl, then bolted toward the water, barking wildly. The attack happened in seconds. The ocean erupted white spray mixed with a flash of red. The force of the impact knocked the two men nearby backward. Screams rang out from the beach. Nathan broke the surface once, gasping, his arms flailing, but he was pulled under before anyone could reach him. Then silence. Just the ripple of waves and the floating surfboard spinning slowly in the water. What had begun as a perfect day turned in an instant, violent, surreal, unforgettable. The screams from the water sent shockwaves through the campsite. People dropped what they were doing and sprinted toward the ocean, but it was already too late. All that remained was a wide dark red stain spreading across the waves and a shattered surfboard, its edge torn clean through. On the shore, Jasper howled non-stop, his cries sharp and haunting. Emily collapsed to her knees, screaming Nathan's name, her voice raw and breaking. The drone footage was chilling, clear, steady, and undeniable. Frame by frame, it showed the shark's full-speed attack, Nathan's final moment, and the chaos that followed. Authorities reviewed the video and confirmed the worst. Nathan had suffered at least 3 bites and had been dragged out to deeper water. His body was never seen again. For the next 48 hours, rescue boats and patrols combed the coastline and open sea, scanning every ripple, diving when possible. But there was nothing. No body, no trace, only silence. On April 23rd, after 2 full days, the search was officially called off. Nathan Reid was declared missing, presumed dead. What had begun as a dream trip had ended in horror. The beach at Clearwater Bay, once a place of joy and freedom, was now marked by loss and the echo of a dog's long, lonely howl. The attack sent shockwaves through the local community and beyond. In just hours, news of Nathan's death spread across Australia, marking the most serious shark attack at Clearwater Bay in the past 15 years. It reignited fears about ocean safety and added another name to a grim tally. Nathan was the 5th person killed in a string of 12 shark attacks along the Australian coast since the beginning of 2025. Authorities held back from releasing the drone footage, citing concerns for the emotional well-being of Nathan's family. Officials described it as deeply distressing and not suitable for public viewing. Still, whispers from inside the investigation began to circulate. According to one marine safety source, the shark captured on film appeared to be even larger than the great white that attacked a diver off Esperance just 2 months earlier, a specimen already considered record-breaking in size. Local beaches were temporarily closed and extra patrols were deployed, but the sense of security had been shattered. Surfers packed up early, tourists cancelled bookings. Even long-time residents admitted feeling uneasy. What had once been a paradise now carried a shadow. For Emily and Jasper, the loss was immeasurable. And for the Clearwater Bay community, the attack wasn't just a tragedy. It was a brutal reminder of nature's power and unpredictability, carved permanently into memory. Nathan Reid's story is a powerful reminder of nature's beauty and its brutal unpredictability. An adventurous soul, Nathan lived life outdoors, chasing waves and wilderness, with his partner Emily and their loyal dog Jasper. But one perfect morning at Clearwater Bay turned into tragedy when a great white shark struck without warning, ending a life full of strength, kindness and spirit. This wasn't just an accident, it was a wake-up call. As shark attacks rise along Australia's coast, Nathan's story underscores the urgent need for better marine safety and awareness. Behind every headline is a person, a friend, a partner, a life cut short. We remember Nathan not for how he died, but for how he lived fully, fearlessly, and always close to the ocean he loved. Let his story be both a tribute and a warning. Nature gives everything but never promises safety.